It's Thursday, March 11th.
Yes, it is.
And it's sort of an inauspicious anniversary. This marks the 1-year anniversary when the World Health Organization said that we were officially in a pandemic.
Boy, and hadn't a whole lot of things changed in a year's time.
Wow, it's both flown by, but at the same time, it did seem like it was Groundhog Day, many, many days in a row.
You and I have worked through, we were counting in rough count 6 major world events that affected us as individuals, you as individuals, your money, and besides 9/11, this probably would rank as one of the leading ones.
I'd say it probably was the leading one because it had so many effects in so many areas versus even 9/11. I mean, it created a lot of fear, 9/11 for sure, but we knew who the enemy was. This pandemic you couldn't see the enemy, and it was causing all kinds of issues. So we kind of go back down memory lane and talk about some of the things that were amazing and some of the things that have changed forever.
Well, I think the most amazing thing is I'll go down a business thought process of how a business how we interact now as business, how clients are comfortable in interacting, how they would prefer. We're noticing a preference in interacting one way versus another way. So we've seen how that occurred, and that then involved technology, and where technology drove the investments and in how it changed how business worked.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially how business works. I talk to clients like you do basically all day, and this time last year, I'd say 90% of our clients were face-to-face clients. That we would set an appointment, we would get together in our office in Clemens or here in Greensboro and go through a review. I'd say that has not completely flipped, but probably in the 70 to 75% range of those that are fine moving forward with Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, or phone meetings, and are happy to meet that way. So that's been one of the things that really was an aha moment for me.
One of the other things that we've seen is really what we've invested in for you as the clients. We've gone from large cap growth to large cap value. We've gone from broad consumer staples to technology and now materials. We've now introduced precious metals and in green technology, and we've moved away from just kind of staple, run-of-the-mill, basic, solid pieces that you would see in your portfolio.
So we saw the quickest recession come and go during this pandemic. In March of last year, we saw this huge drop, and then we talked about a lot of letters. Remember talking about W recovery and a U recovery?
Yes.
But heck, it's been a V recovery, and we're seeing markets set highs. Of course, February or March has not been the greatest month, start to a month, but with January and February, we saw highs on NASDAQ, highs on the Dow, highs on the S&P, and who would have thought that 6 months ago?
You would not have. This has probably been in the pandemic year, the biggest year that we've observed of concern, and rightfully so. And we accept it and we acknowledge it, but need of conversation with new clients and existing clients and all kinds of folks of where the market is. Volatility is up and down, and it really creates angst within it, and we understand it. So we've done a lot of conversations with a lot of folks during this last year, and we've been grateful for that opportunity to do that.
So one of the byproducts of the pandemic has been these spending bills, and these spending bills have created some angst in the markets, and one of the things that we've been seeing and why March hasn't started off all that well has been because the 10-year Treasury has been rising. What we're seeing now is the Treasury, now that the bill's been passed, and we're starting to see the world is still here, that the 10-year Treasury is actually beginning to slip back into where we think a range will be for the remainder of the year, and that range could be anywhere from 1.4 to 1.6% yield on the 10-year, and the markets can certainly handle that.
Again, Federal Reserve Chairman Powell has said he is not going to increase interest rates. He's comfortable with where it is. Unemployment, you pointed out, unemployment numbers were really, new unemployment claims were down this morning, but still there's 700,000 new unemployment claims that were made. And so that means people need to get back to work, and so that means there's going to be job opportunities that need to be created. And so the opening up of the economy is still ahead of us.
And yeah, there's still 5 million people who are unemployed. So I don't see us getting back to, I think the unemployment rate is at 6.4% right now. Before the pandemic, it was at 3.5%. So we've got a long way to go to get back to what would be considered full employment. So that takes inflation off the table, at least for the foreseeable future.
And then finally, the vaccinations, there's discussion now in March of phase 4 within here, North Carolina. By April, May, June, more people are going to be vaccines and vaccinations are going to be out. There's going to be opening up of venues and states and everything. That's going to drive the economy. So opportunities are there, and we're taking advantage of them, and we're looking at them on a daily basis, and we're having conversation about that on your behalf.
If you have questions, feel free to give us a call, 336-544-6800, or send us an email. You guys have our email addresses, so be sure to do that.
Don't forget Ben Bernanke, opportunity with that's coming up on the 18th. Check your emails from that. What a great opportunity, and we're glad to bring that to you. But always remember, it is your money.
And your money matters.
See you next week.